Hey everybody, it's J, and welcome back to another tutorial video here in City Skylines. This time we are talking about mods. This is going to be the first of 3 episodes I'm going to cover using 5 mods for different purposes. And this first one is going to just sort of a blanket essential mod list. If I could only use 5 mods, these would be the mods I would probably pick. Now, I use the word essential very loosely because everyone is going to pick different mods. There's so many different ways to play this game. Don't take this as the best 5 mods ever. These are just 5 mods that me personally I like to use and feel a little bit empty if they are not in my game. The first one, it's not a sexy one. I will be honest with you, and it's been around a very, very long time. But I think it is an essential mod because when it's not there, I get frustrated, and that is the automatic bulldoze mod. It's down here. You can check or uncheck if you want the mod to automatically demolish burned buildings and automatically demolish abandoned. So you can uncheck them. They are currently checked, so now if there's any abandoned building in the city, it will automatically bulldoze them. It's very helpful early game. Later game, it's not so much a problem, but it can be a problem in the early game when you have sort of worker shortages or different things like that, especially in your industrial areas. You find that you're always having to go over and demolish things. Again, not a sexy choice, but one that I would still consider very valuable to the game. It's sort of that invisible mod that people don't really think of and forget easily, but I do find that one to be very, very helpful. The next one is the 25 tile mod or the 81 tile mod. Now, that's up to your preference, but as you can see, this is our Vanilla Valley map that we were working in, and we are going to slowly start to add mods to it. We have purchased all 9 tiles, and as you can see, we haven't filled in this tile over here yet, and there's some space, but you sort of start to feel a little cramped, and I think that the 25 or 81 tile mod, whichever you choose, is a very valuable mod. So basically allows you to extend your 9 tiles to 25 or 81. Currently I have the 25 tile mod, so you can just purchase a lot more space and give yourself a little bit more of an option to have like a smaller town out in the distance. Maybe make this map sort of like a region versus just a large city. The next mod that I would not like to be without is called Fine Road Anarchy. This one has also been around for quite a while, along with the automatic bulldoze and the 25 or 81 tiles. And this one allows you to, it impacts roads, but it also just sort of impacts everything else around it, because what it allows you to do is, let's say I wanted to build a road coming through here. Now, let's say I wanted it right here. I don't know why I would necessarily want it to when I could also just do this, but let's say I wanted to build a road right here. Let's say that was the only space I could do it, right? It's not letting me because it's not, that pillar is just in the way, right? If I hit Control A, hold Control A, now it allows me to do it. It's turned blue, it allows me to build within here, and what it'll do is it'll just simply remove that pillar once I build over it, like so. It's a really, really handy tool when you are working with interchanges and you're maybe trying to get something. If you're trying to build in between roads, it just allows you, if I turn this off, there's no way that's happening, right? But this allows you to sort of just manipulate your roads a little bit better, build in very, very tight quarters, build tight angles on your roads. If I had this off right here, that is now red, but if I did this, I can build a tighter curve. Very, very helpful mod. The next mod that works really well in conjunction with Fine Road Anarchy is called Move It. Now, if you've been around Skylines at all, you have probably either played with Move It or you have heard of Move It at the very least. It has absolutely been a game changer when it comes to detailing style of gameplay and just allows you to manipulate anything really in the game that you want to change, whether it's just heights, moving buildings around, shifting things a little bit closer. Absolutely phenomenal mod, and I would definitely highly recommend it. So let's just show you briefly what Move It can do. Now down here, there are these 4 arrows right here. And here we have our single selection, okay? That means I can literally grab anything. A segment, node, house, tree, anything, really. And what I can do is I can say, well, you know what? I want this house to be over here. So I can literally grab it. It'll turn green. And now if I just click and drag, I can move this house anywhere I want. I can say, you know what? I want it to be a little closer to this house. So I can slide over there. It's unbelievable. The mod is so good, okay? Let's also say, you know what? I want this road to have more of a curve to it. So I can grab this node, and I can just pull the road in any direction I want. Along with the segments, I can pull segments, I can do anything. And if you pull this and you go, that doesn't look great, Control Z. Control Z fixes it. It really is quite an astonishing mod. Not only that, but let's say I wanted to use the marquee selection. Let's say I wanted to grab these trees and I wanted to copy them and paste them into a different spot. Well, I could certainly do that. Now, if I was in a large area and I wanted to, let's say I wanted to grab all these trees right in here, okay? Well, if I just marquee select, it's going to select everything. Nodes, buildings, parks, segments, things like that, okay? Well, I don't really want to do that. So I want to just grab trees. So I'm going to turn off buildings and decals and props and surfaces and nodes and segments, okay? So I want to just grab trees. It'll also take off roads, paths, fences, power lines. You can manipulate it so little. It's unbelievable. So if I wanted to just grab trees, now, as you can see, when I scroll over it with the marquee tool, it has only grabbed the trees. So if I come down here now with all those selected, I can click copy, and it will now create a copy, and I can rotate and do any of those things, and I can plop it anywhere I want. Boom. And it won't intersect with the rail lines because it will just automatically delete those. So it's almost like you can use it as a forest brush. There's so many ways that you can use Move It. It's really an incredible tool. So let's see. I'm gonna check these back again. So the main way that I use Move It is for manipulating road segments. Instead of having to delete things that don't look good and build them back and, you know, change the heights and do all those different things, now we don't need to do that anymore. With Move It, it spoils the heck out of you. So, for example, this walking path. I like how this walking path looks, but I don't think it needs to be that high. But I need to be that high to get over the highway. Well, no longer, and I can really manipulate using Move It. So if I grab this node, if I hit page up and page down, I can now lower the height on this to go over the highway. Same thing over here. If I wanted to grab this, lower it down a little bit, and I think that looks about good. Now we've made a much easier path to walk up this hill, but we've also made it a little bit less distance between that and the road. Same thing over here. I like how this road is coming up and over, but there's a little bit of this dip here, which I don't really care for, right? So I can grab this node and I can raise it just to give it a nicer arc to the ground. See how much nicer that is? This tree. See how much nicer that looks. Same thing here too. I could lower this to be just a little bit lower. I don't think it needs to be that high. Same thing over here. Now, let's say I wanted to lower this side of the road. Okay, let's say I lowered it about to there. Okay, now I want to make these two nodes the exact same height as this one. Well, instead of trying to eyeball it, Move It makes it easy for you. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this one, I'm going to shift and grab this one to select that, and then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say, if you hit the arrow here, there's more tools, way more tools. Immediate rotate, there's so many tools in this. Some of this stuff I don't even use, but I'm just showing you things that I do. I haven't even begun to explore everything that Move It can do, and sometimes I even forget what Move It is capable of, and I'll still do things in a normal way. You can definitely ask my chat about that. So if I hit Align Heights, I click this, okay? Now you can see that everything is highlighted white. Basically, anything I click next, it will align these two nodes' height to. So I want to make those two the same height as this, so I click this, boom. It lowers the height of these to exactly the height of that. There's a blazing fire going on over there. The Move It tool is absolutely phenomenal. It allows you to really just, I mean, you can move pathways, you can move trees, you can shift things over, like if you want, like let's say for example, you don't want there to be a gap of grass right here. I can just move this building over. I can turn it with right click and it'll just stay there. It truly is a phenomenal tool, and I've only shown you a couple ways you can use it. I definitely highly recommend you check out the Move It mod. It really is glorious. Okay, and the last mod that I think, and this one is actually new to my arsenal, but I found it to be quite helpful, and it has eliminated some other mods that I used to use because it all comes in one, and that is called Hide It. This mod is so good. So if you go into options and you go to your mod settings, you'll see the mods that you have started here, okay? And if you click on Hide It, this allows you to essentially hide almost anything that you want from your game. You can highlight, you can change you can say, I don't want it to show any of my tool colors. You can say, I don't want it to show any of the buttons. You can turn off Chirper. You can turn off the radio button. You can turn off all the gears, any of that stuff. But the most important part and the best part is that it allows you to turn off seagulls. You can even turn off wildlife, ads, billboards, smoke, steam. You can turn off almost anything. You can turn off road arrows if you wanted to. You can shut down all these things. For example, I don't like the buoys that come when you create a line with your ferries. You can turn off buoys. I have that on right now, and I have a ferry line that goes right through here. No buoys. Now, especially the seagulls and the buoys mod, those were two separate ones, and that is something now that I just have one mod for, and that is called Hide It. It's so good. You can even hide the borders of things, district names. Truly a phenomenal mod, so I use it for that. I also use it to turn off sprites, the grass sprites and the fertile decorations. You can also turn it off so that you don't see the purple pollution color. That was a separate mod before. Now it's all right here in Hide It. You can also turn off the polluted area look, how it makes the shore area kind of a funny, weird color, fertility, any of that stuff. There's just so many things that you can do with this mod. It really is incredible, and that's why it has moved into my top 5 list, because there's so many things that it allows you to do and manipulate, and creates a much more visually aesthetically pleasing game. And so I think it's essential for me. Now, it might not be essential for you, because those are purely aesthetic things. If you don't mind the seagulls that fly over your parks, that's totally fine. But for me, this has become an essential mod, just to make my game a little bit better to look at. And it does so many different things that it's moved into my essential mod list. There we have it. That's all I have. That's all I have for you. Those are 5 mods that I think are essential for me when I am playing City Skylines. You could definitely shift in other ones. I'm sure that I'm forgetting about things. Remember, I haven't used every single mod in the workshop. There are probably fantastic ones out there that I'm not even aware of. So let me know down in the comment section, what are your top 5 mods? Thanks everyone for watching. That is going to do it for me. I do appreciate all of you watching. Thank you so much. And again, yeah, these are 5 mods I would not want to be without. And if I had to pick 5, I think these might be it. Now, I'm more than happy for you to change my mind, and I'm sure there are ones that I'm forgetting, but as just a look in onto how the mods I use when we're streaming over on Twitch and the mods I like to use here on our YouTube series, these are the ones I like to use and ones I wouldn't want to be without. And if I had to pick 5, I think I would pick these. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one here in City Skylines. Thanks everybody, and we'll see you next time.